Yud Aleph Amid Aleph, and we're, 5-6 lines into the wide lines. Chazar. We're starting by Rav Nachman by Yitzchak. Rav Nachman by Yitzchak pasuk la Pischa la Hipashas Amehocha. So Rav Nachman by Yitzchak's pasuk that he would start when he would be darshaning in Megillah. So the pasuk he would start with is this as follows: Shir Hamalais Lulei Hashem Shahayalanu Yamin Yisrael Lulei Hashem Shahayalanu Mekoleinu Adam. So Shir Hamalais, were not for Hashem. We should say it that we're not for Hashem that was with us when a person, an Adam, came against us. Adam Melech, right? This is referring to Haman. Rava pasuk la Pischa la Hipashas Amehocha. Bevois tzadikim yismachoam uvimshol rasha yonacham. When the tzadikim are raised up, yismacham, the people of the nation are happy. Vimshol rasha, and when the wicked man is ruling, yonacham, the people moan. Bevois tzadikim yismachoam zamot Esther. When we say bevois tzadikim, when the tzadikim are raised up, the people who are happy. This is Matchan Esther. The Chsiv, the ear, the city of Shushan was happy and rejoiced. When the people saw, it's referring to when people saw Mordechai in the king's clothing, so everybody rejoiced. And when the wicked ruler and the people moaned, this was Haman, because the pasuk says, and the city of Shushan was sad. So Ramasa says from here, Kimi goy godoil, because who is a great nation, Asher lo yelikim kroivim elov, that has Hashem near it. So how does this tie into the Megillah? I'm sure everybody had the question yesterday. I also had the question, and I went back and I read a little Mefarshim. So what Haman told the Chazarish was that Yeshno Yam Echad, there's this nation, Mefuzah Mefoy Ben Hoamim, that's all dispersed, and basically Hashem has forsaken the Jews. So this pasuk says, that Hashem was near. Hashem is always near us. There's no such thing, even when we're spread out and whatever. So that was that's how this pasuk. The pasuk says, "Oh, is there another Hashem that did so much for a nation?" So this is like Hashem, what did it was? Vayhi b'mei achashvei rosh amar rav. Vay v'hi. Woe and sad. Also as it says, that you will, in the Teichach it says, and you're going to go and want to sell yourselves for slaves, and there's not going to be anybody buying. Ushmul Amar, I was not disgusted, and I have not forsaken you to let you be destroyed. When? In the times of Yevanim, Hashem was not disgusted by us. Hashem didn't forsake us in the days of Nebuchadnezzar. To destroy them in the days of Haman.
It's like Likas,
exactly. Ki ani Hashem Elokehem, and the end of it where Ki ani Hashem Elokehem, that for I am Hashem, their God. That's in the days we made Gog Magog, right? Because in the days of Gog Magog, which is in my calculations basically now, days of Gog Magog, Hashem is going to come and this Gemara is over there. Hashem is going to come and save us Himself, and then that's going to be the last Geula, because once Hashem comes and saves us, that's it. It's game over. B'masnisa Tana. Also, we learned in the Brayso, Lema Asem B'mekazden. The Lema Asem B'mekazden. B'mekazden Shemati Lam Daniel Chanan Mishavazaya. Right, that's referring to the time of the Kazden, because Hashem put Daniel, Chanan, Mishav, and Zariah to save the Eden. Look out them, B'mei Yivanim. Shemati Lam Shemat Tzadich Hashnoi Ufanov Matzio Kohen Gadol. Right, in the days of the Greeks, there was Shemat Tzaddik and the Chashunon and Matzio Kohen Gadol. The Chaloisam B'mei Haman. Shemati Lahem Malch Ve'Esther. Lahav brings itam b'mei pasim. Shemati lahem shel beis Rabbi v'chachmei doros. Right? Shemati lahem. Lahav brings itam b'mei pasim. Shemati lahem. The chachamim of the house of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi and the other chachamim of the generations. Ki ani Hashem Elokehem la'asad lavai she'en kol uma v'lashon yichayil l'shloit b'hem. Right? So la'asad lavai in the time of the Gemara, la'asad lavai that Hashem is going to come and save us, and no nation or language, whatever that means, is going to be able to rule over us. Rabbi Levi Oma mihocha. So this is basically a continuation of the last pasuk, and says if you don't wipe out, no, I'm saying that the next one is a continuation. Rav Levi says from here, this is how he started it. Why? So this is referring to Shaul. He was supposed to kill out Amalek. For whatever reason, Shaul had Rachmanis on Agag, Melech Amalek, and he didn't kill him. He killed him, but not right away. And because he didn't kill him out right away, he was able to father another son. That son came, and Haman comes from him. So he was supposed to kill him out. Instead, he had Rachmanis. Megila says from here, and it will be that like they were going to do, I will do to you. So in the times of Haman, Hashem, it was almost as if they were almost going to kill us. But Hashem saved us. Achashverosh.
This is the new Gemara.
This is where we're up to?
Yeah. No, we have to. That's not Achashverosh.
Right, we learned this. Achashverosh, Amar Rav, Achav Shalosh. Remember this? Achav Shalosh. Achashverosh is Achav Shalosh. Achav Shalosh, the brother of the head. The brother of the head. Megila Shalosh, and from the same type as the head. Who's the head? Achav Shalosh. Achav Shalosh Rasha. Shenik Rosh. Right? Achav. So we're saying that Achashverosh was like a brother to Nebuchadnezzar, even though they kind of lived in different times. But he was just like him. He was just like Nebuchadnezzar. Shenema. Antu Reisha di Dahava. You are the head of gold. That's how Nebuchadnezzar was referred to. Ben Gila Shalosh, who Harag, he was just like the head, who's the head? Nebuchadnezzar. Who Harag, Nebuchadnezzar killed, who Bikesh Laharag. Achashverosh wanted to kill. Who Hechrev, he destroyed the Beis HaMikdash. Nebuchadnezzar, who Bikesh Laharag. Right? Achashverosh wanted to destroy the Beis HaMikdash. Where? Shenemar. Over Malchus Achashverosh, the pasuk says, Malchus Achashverosh, the kingdom of Achashverosh, but Chilas Malchusai, in the beginning of his Malchus, of his kingdom, Chasvu Sitna al Yosha Yehuda Shalayim. He wrote a decree, against the people who lived in Yehuda Shalayim. Basically, the story was that when Achashverosh took over after King Koresh, Koresh was the last king before Achashverosh. So some of the Yidden started returning back to Yerushalayim in the end of the days of Koresh, and they said, okay, we're coming back to Yerushalayim, so we have to start building the Beis HaMikdash. Achashverosh was involved. He made this whole scandal that the Yidden can't build the Beis HaMikdash. He stopped them from building. So because he stopped the Yidden from building the Beis HaMikdash, it's as if he destroyed the Beis HaMikdash in a certain way. You know, he's of the same thought as Nebuchadnezzar. Shmuel Amar, Shmuel says another reason why Achashverosh, the name Achashverosh, shehushcharu pneihem shel Yisrael biyom of kishul kedera. The faces of the Yidden became blackened, became fashvatz. In his days, kishul kedera, like the bottom of the pot. When you're cooking and the bottom of the pot gets burnt and black, that's how the faces of the Yidden were. So same thing. Shehushcharu, that we're using play on words of Achashverosh. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Kol she'hazoichei oimer, ach l'roishei, ach l'roishei. So that anybody who talks about Achashverosh would go ach to his head, or he would say a curse on his head. Oi, ach means oi. Rabbi Chananya Amar, she'akol nasu roshin biyamav. Right, he's using the word rosh, which also means poor. That the people became poor in his days. Because he put a lot of taxes on the people. He taxed. He was a big taxer. Like it says in the Megillah. Okay, so Yud Aleph, I'm an Aleph, and we're close to the bottom by Hu Achashverosh. Lil Nishmas Chanoi Chanech Ben Shalom Baruch, and Schus Refuah Shlema for all the people who need Refuah Shlema. Hu Achashverosh. So by Hu Achashverosh. So now we're talking about Achashverosh. Hu Achashverosh. By Hibi Me Achashverosh. How's the Megillah start? Vahipi me Achashverosh, and wasn't days of Achashverosh. Hu Achashverosh. So it seems to be like extra that it says Hu Achashverosh. What's the limit from Hu Achashverosh? That's what the Gemara is like playing on that. Hu Achashverosh. So Hu Achashverosh. He is Achashverosh. Hu Berishoi mitchilasa v'atzayfai. He is in the same wickedness from when he became king till the end of his days. From the beginning to the end, he was in his wickedness. So now we're bringing other who, like there's other places where it says who, it refers to the person, and then it says who, that person. So the next one, who Esav. Esav, it says Esav, and it says who Esav. He is the Esav. Who Berishai mitchilas v'atzayv. The same thing. Who dasan v'aviram. Hein berisham mitchilas v'atzayv. The same thing. Who hamelech Achaz. So Melech Achaz, who was also a wicked person, who berisha mitchilas v'atzayfer. Now we go on. There's a pasuk in, I think it's Divrei Yomim. Avram, who Avraham, who betzidkai. So it's the same thing, just the opposite. Who betzidkai with his righteousness and tzidkis mitchilas v'atzayfer. Who Aaron and Moshe. Also we're talking about Aaron and Moshe. Hein betzidkai mitchilas v'atzayfer. V'David who Akatan. So now there's a pasuk in Sugmat Avram Melech. It says David hu HaKatan. He's the youngest. It's referring to him, and in his family, he's the youngest of the brothers. But that's what the Pashup Shah means. But because it says the extra David hu HaKatan, there is a limit to learn from it. The limit is hu bekatnusa mit chilas v'atzayfim. In his, it means kleinkeit, but what it means is his anivas, his humility. The same way he was an anav and he was a king, he was a tremendous, but he had tremendous anivus. I think the story is by Yehoshaphat, that Yehoshaphat taught him two things, and he referred to him as his Rebbe and his master. So even when he was young, he made himself small to somebody who was bigger than him in Torah. Kach b'malchusa, even as a melech, even as when he was a king, hiktin atzmei etzel mi shegod mimenu b'chachma. Same way he had the humility when somebody he felt was bigger in Torah or chachma, then he would be humble. Hamoilech, right? So we're going back to Vahibi me'achashverosh hu achashverosh, and now up to the next word, Hamoilech. Hamoilech.
It's gonna go through.
Yeah, basically it's going to go through the whole Megillah.
Oh, really? Like.
Vahibi me'achashverosh, and wasn't there the Achashverosh. Hu achashverosh, that's Achashverosh. Hamoilech, who was the king of Amarav. So Hamoilech, what's the limit from Hamoilech? Because we already said that he's the king, right? Now we're saying who reigned, whose kingship reigned over. Hamoilech Amarav, Shemolach mi'atzmai. Because we say Hamoilech, that he was the king, he was the ruler. Amarav, Shemolach mi'atzmai. He became a king from himself. So what do we mean by this? Amri lo l'shvach, amri lo l'ganai. You could say this.
Throne.
Right, you could say this in shvach. You could say this in a way that in a good way. In a good way is that the Gemara is going to tell us. Or you say it good and you can say it bad. Amri la l'shvach. So what would be the way that we say it for shvach? It's a praise thing. That there was nobody else besides him that was as roy to be a king. And how can you say it the other way as a ganai? Because he wasn't fit for kingdom. He doesn't come from a royal family. He was a stable boy, Achashverosh. So he rose up to be a king, but he had money and he bought it. He added money, he paid his way through. So by the way, how does Achashverosh have money? Does anybody know? The Achashverosh had money because Nebuchadnezzar hid a lot of his treasures, and he was like a stable boy. He happened to have found one of these treasures, so he had a bunch of money.
But nothing changed in politics since then, apparently.
Basically.
Democrats will always be Democrats.
Okay, so that's the Hamoilech, right? So Hamoilech.
He got cigars.
What's the next word after Hamoilech? Hamoilech. Mehoidu liad Kush. From Hoidu till Kush. So Rav v'Shmuel. It's a machlokes Rav v'Shmuel. Chad Omar Hoidu b'Sefer Olam and Kush b'Sefer Olam. Right? There's a very famous machlokes that one says that Hoidu is over here and Kush is over there. So from Hoidu till Kush. And one of them says that Hoidu and Kush are right next to each other. But the same way that he ruled over Hoidu and Kush that were right next to him, he also ruled over the rest of the world the same way he ruled over Hoidu and Kush.
It goes around.
Right? So, Kayotz B'David is a similar machloikes at Oimaki who roide b'chol ever hanar mit tifsach v'yad azah. This is talking about Shmuel. That Shmuel was. I'm sorry. This is talking about Shlomo HaMelech. It's talking about Shlomo HaMelech. Shlomo HaMelech was ruled over from Tifsach till Avza. Rav Shmuel, the same machlokes, same two Rav Shmuel. Chad Amar Tifsach b'Sefer Olam ve'az b'Sefer Olam. V'chad Amar Tifsach ve'az b'chad hadodei havu kaimei. Kishem shemalach al Tifsach ve'al Azah kach malach kol ha'olam kulai. Right? So same machlokes that Tifsach and Azah were either right next to each other.
Both agreed that it was Kalam Kalam.
Right. No. Everybody says that it's a Kalam Kalam. So, for example, Sheva Esra Meya Medina. Sheva Esra Meya Medina. So 127 countries, right? Which is the whole world. So, but it says 7 and 20 and 100. So why does it say like this? This is what the Gemara is. Why does it say 7 and 20 and 100? Amrav Chizda. B'tchila Malach al Sheva. In the beginning of his kingdom, he was king of 7 countries. L'b'sayif Malach al Esrim. And then he added an additional 20 countries. L'b'sayif Malach al Meya. And then he added an additional 100. So it came out altogether to 127. El Me'ata. So frak the Gemara Ushnei Chai Amram. We're talking about Amram, that Amram lived Sheva U'Shloisha Ma'as Shana. right? Shnei Chai Amram, and the years of the life of Amram. Sheva ushloisha umas shana, right? So it's written in the same way. Strike the Gemara. So my drasha. So what's the drasha? If you're taking the same lashon over there and you're taking the same lashon over here, so what's the drasha from Amram? And the Gemara shiny hacha. Our case is different. The kra yiseiruhu, because it's extra words in the pasuk. Michti. What do we mean to say? Let's analyze. Ksiv mehoid v'ad kush. It says from Haidu till Kush, so we know he ruled the whole world, because everybody agrees, just like Chaim said, everybody agrees that when we say Haidu v'ad Kush, we mean that he ruled the whole world. Either because they're right next to each other in the same way he ruled the Haidu and Kush, he ruled everything else, or because Haidu was one place and Kush is the other place. So Sheva ve'esrim u'mei Medina lamalish ma'amino l'drasha. So it must be the drasha. The drasha is that 7, 20, and 100. Because that's what we need the drasha. Because we have this extra way of teaching us, so we need that drasha.